Welcome to another episode of Fraser Valley Real Estate Board's Monday Minute. I'm Baldev Gill. Today I have a very special guest with me, Tori Jacobson, who is a board director as well as the chair of our Stakeholder and Government Relations Committee. Our regular viewers will note that Tori was one of my very first guests, and I've invited him back to provide an update on what his committee's been up to.
Thank you very much for having me back. I'm glad to be here.
Last time we were here, you gave us a glimpse into the plans for the Stakeholder and Government Relations on the heels of a new strategic mandate the committee had just developed, which I remember was quite exciting and ambitious.
Yeah, we were very fired up, and in fact, we still are at the potential for the Fraser Valley Board to elevate its voice on housing and real estate issues for our members, for the profession, and for the public that we serve.
That makes good sense to me, especially with all the attention and the focus lately we've heard from the government around the plan to increase densification.
Yeah. So you'll remember right after that episode aired we had mentioned that we were having a member engagement session with the BC Housing Minister, Ravi Kahlon, and it was an opportunity for our members to hear the challenges in addressing supply and housing affordability and some of the proposed solutions that the government were working on at the time. And as we know, those have now begun to roll out, and that includes, regional densification quotas, the harmonization of the approvals process for permitting. So, a lot of things that are in the works now. We'll see what the outcome is, but it really was a milestone event, I think, for the Fraser Valley Board and one that I was honored to be a part of, to allow a direct audience with the highest level of government to, create a relationship that we have been nurturing since that happened.
Tori, that's a very important aspect of what your committee does, is establishing and maintaining and nurturing, quite frankly, the relationships with elected officials at all levels.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, it's the heart of what our committee does. So, we meet with MLAs and MPs. We do that in smaller social settings such as mixers or Board of Trade events, and then more formal venues such as government liaison days each spring in Victoria and political action committee days each fall in Ottawa. And in fact, last month, a small group of our committee went to Ottawa along with GR committees from across the country to network, to learn, and to meet with our elected officials. And our board was very successful in arranging meetings, and they were very impactful. So, we're really about building awareness for our board and what we do and helping them understand the value that we can bring to the table and to be part of the dialogue that's happening.
That's great. Help us understand what's happening at the municipal level.
Yeah. So the municipal level, I mean, it's really, I think, the most important key, right? And what we've realized is that we as a committee can really up our game in that regard. So we are currently underway with our committee staff to develop a plan to create a regular cadence of conversation with mayors and municipal councilors from around the region that we operate in, to really collaborate and dialogue and try and move the needle on some of the initiatives that are needed to address housing, supply and affordability within the area. And so, we realize, I think, that municipalities are maybe the most important jurisdiction because they directly impact the areas that we live and we work in.
Troy, I also recall that your committee had created some subcommittees as well to take positions on certain issues that are relevant for our members. I just want to know, how's that progressing?
Yeah, it's going really well. So the committee work continues. As you saw last week, we're very pleased to release our first position statement paper around the housing strategy and the Homes for People plan. It was really, really fantastic to be able to do that. And I think it was important for us to establish a baseline response on the plan and acknowledge the work that's being done by the government. We have to give them credit, regardless of how one might feel as to the success of it, that at least steps are being taken to address. But, the main takeaway for our committee was in realizing that it might not go far enough. It might not be a fulsome approach, and particularly in the areas around immigration and infrastructure. So, unless you address these all at the same time, you're creating problems down the road, kind of like that, whack-a-mole game at the arcade, the same kind of effect. We just delay and have to deal with it later. So, we'll use this paper as a template moving forward to continue our work. As I mentioned last time I was here, our rental subcommittee is working on a statement in regards to landlord-tenant dichotomy and some reforms that we believe need to happen in that arena. And we'll continue to advocate for the removal of the municipal red tape when it comes to development and applications.
Like I said, the last time you were here, your committee had a very full an important plate. By building strong public advocacy programs, you're strengthening our board's reputation and influence. So I look forward to bringing you back for another episode of the Monday Minute.
Yeah, I'd love to. A three-peat. I'm in.
He's Tori Jacobson. I'm Baldev Gill. Thank you very much for watching the Monday Minute.